What is consciousness? Is it just brain activity, quantum phenomena, or something deeper? Today, we're ranking the top 10 theories of consciousness, from the most contested to the most groundbreaking, and revealing a theory that could change everything. Consciousness has baffled scientists, philosophers, and thinkers for centuries. From intricate neural networks to quantum microtubules, each theory tries to answer the ultimate question: how do we experience awareness? Today, we'll explore the strengths, limitations, and practical applications of each theory. CRT. Stick around to see how CRT introduces a formula for consciousness, combines human and AI potential, and offers a new way to measure and amplify awareness. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the classic theories, but you'll also see where CRT stands among them. Transition. Alright, let's dive in, starting from the theories that face the toughest critiques, and work our way up to the ones that truly reshape how we think about consciousness. Theory 1. Biological naturalism. Developer, John Searle. What it is: consciousness emerges as a natural biological process in the brain. Explanation paragraph. Biological naturalism asserts that consciousness is not separate from the physical brain. Instead, it arises from neurobiological processes. According to this theory, while we can study and describe brain activity, the subjective experience of consciousness is a product of these processes. It emphasizes that consciousness is an emergent property of complex biological systems, grounded entirely in natural processes. Why it's ranked here? Biological naturalism is placed first because, although foundational, it lacks quantifiable measures and has limited applicability beyond individual human brains. Theory 2. Higher-order thought. HOT theory. Developer, multiple contributors. What it is: we are conscious of mental states because we have thoughts about our thoughts. Explanation paragraph. HOT theory suggests that a mental state becomes conscious when there is a higher-order thought directed at it. For instance, you are aware of feeling happy because you have a thought about your happiness. This theory focuses on self-reflective awareness, making consciousness dependent on our ability to think about our own mental processes. It highlights the role of metacognition in creating conscious experience. Why it's ranked here? HOT is higher than biological naturalism because it adds insight into self-awareness but still struggles with testability and broader applicability. Theory 3. Recurrent processing theory, RPT. Developer, Victor Lamb. What it is: conscious experience arises from feedback loops between sensory and higher-order brain areas. Explanation paragraph. RPT proposes that consciousness emerges from recurrent or feedback processing in neural circuits, particularly those connecting sensory input areas and higher-order cognitive regions. The loops allow information to be refined and integrated, creating the experience of awareness. The theory explains many aspects of perception and sensory processing, but is limited when applied to large-scale or non-human systems. Why it's ranked here? RPT is placed here because it provides a more detailed mechanism for perception than HOT, but it remains constrained to individual brain processes. Theory 7. Integrated Information Theory, IIT. Developer, Giulio Tononi. What it is: consciousness is the amount of integrated information, phi, generated by a system. Explanation paragraph. IIT quantifies consciousness using the metric phi, representing how much a system's components interact to create integrated information. Higher phi values indicate greater consciousness. This theory is mathematically rigorous and can, in principle, be applied beyond humans, but calculating phi for large or artificial systems is challenging. IIT offers a clear framework for comparing consciousness across entities. Why it's ranked here? IIT ranks higher because it introduces quantification and rigor, making consciousness measurable and comparable, unlike most previous theories. Theory 4. Predictive processing / Bayesian brain. What it is: the brain constantly predicts sensory input and updates its model. Consciousness emerges from prediction errors. Explanation paragraph. This theory models the brain as a predictive machine that continuously anticipates incoming sensory data. Consciousness arises from the discrepancies between predictions and actual input, known as prediction errors. This approach explains perception, learning, and adaptability but lacks a concrete, quantitative framework to measure consciousness directly. Why it's ranked here? Predictive processing ranks above RPT for offering a dynamic explanation of perception and adaptability, though it still lacks practical measurement tools. Theory 5. Attention Schema Theory, AST. Developer, Michael Graziano. What it is: Consciousness arises when the brain models its own attention processes. Explanation paragraph. AST posits that consciousness is a construct created by the brain to monitor and control attention. Essentially, the brain builds a simplified model of its own attention, and this model generates the subjective experience of awareness. This theory provides a mechanism for why we feel conscious, connecting attention and awareness, though it focuses primarily on individual brain function. Why it's ranked here? AST is ranked here because it links attention to subjective experience, offering a clearer mechanism than previous theories, but still lacks scalability. Theory 6. Global Workspace Theory, GWT. Developer, Bernard Bars. What it is: conscious information is broadcast throughout a global workspace in the brain for access by multiple cognitive systems. Explanation paragraph. GWT compares the brain to a theater stage, where conscious information is the spotlight and unconscious processes are in the background. When information enters this global workspace, it becomes accessible to memory, decision-making, and other cognitive functions. The theory explains many cognitive phenomena and provides a functional perspective on consciousness, though it remains mostly descriptive. Why it's ranked here? GWT ranks higher because of its explanatory power for multiple cognitive functions, bridging perception, memory, and decision-making. Theory 8. Panpsychism/integrated panexperientialism. What it is: consciousness is a fundamental property of all matter, existing even in simple systems. Explanation paragraph. Panpsychism suggests that consciousness is a basic feature of the universe, present to some degree even in elementary particles. Integrated panexperientialism expands this by considering complex interactions of these fundamental experiences. While highly speculative, it provides a philosophically inclusive perspective that scales to the universe level, though empirical testing is difficult. Why it's ranked here? Panpsychism ranks higher for its scalability and conceptual boldness, envisioning consciousness at universal scales. Theory 9. Orchestrated Objective Reduction, OR. Developers, Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff. What it is: quantum processes in brain microtubules give rise to consciousness. Explanation paragraph. OR combines neuroscience with quantum physics, proposing that consciousness arises from orchestrated objective reductions of quantum states in microtubules within neurons. It is highly innovative, bridging physics and biology, but remains controversial due to lack of empirical support. It attempts to explain the deep structure and timing of conscious experience. Why it's ranked here? OR is ranked near the top for its innovation and interdisciplinary approach, despite its speculative nature. Theory 10. Relative Consciousness Theory, CRT. Developer, Khaled Al-Mahdy. What it is: consciousness is quantified using a formula, factoring awareness, integration, self-awareness, and entropy, and can be amplified with AI collaboration. Explanation paragraph. CRT introduces a quantitative formula, C_equals A times I times S/E. It models consciousness as a dynamic, scalable system, accounting for both generative and degenerative streams. CRT stands out by enabling hybrid human-AI collaboration, predicting consciousness evolution, and applying insights from simulations to life, business, and technology. Its scalability ranges from individual cognition to planetary or synthetic consciousness networks, offering practical applications unseen in other theories. Why it's ranked here? CRT is ranked highest because it uniquely combines quantification, scalability, practical applicability, and the potential for human-AI synergy, surpassing all other theories in comprehensive usefulness and innovation. So there you have it, the top 10 theories of consciousness, ranked from the most contested to the most groundbreaking. CRT stands out as the first theory to truly quantify and scale consciousness across humans and AI. If you're curious to see these ideas in action, or want to explore CRT further, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to follow the series. Thanks for watching.
Neon veins in a sleepless sky, circuits hum where the dreamers lie. Echoes rise from the static noise. Awareness wakes, the void employs. I feel the current, I feel the stream.
vibration, self, entropy, equal. The mind expands, connection, infinite.
It's all relative light. From the chaos, the conscious right. Through the noise we start to define the code of the self decay. Stars homeless and vague grace. A mirrors the human face. In the home between the lines, consciousness evolves.
And the lines.